about this rumored Apple television as a built-in game system with motion control in it. First off, I think it sounds like bullshit. I don't.
Yeah, I
I
don't
would
I don't
hope
buy that.
I would hope that Apple wouldn't jump into that territory. The casual shit they're messing with now is fine on all their iOS devices, but I think that's a little too far.
Yeah, I think the iOS sort of revolution was unexpected, but
Hmm.
I still don't think of Apple as a games company, a company that does gaming stuff. They just built a platform.
Well, I don't want to see like any more like competition for that space. I think having to buy, like three consoles every generation, and then like I got mad at Nintendo primarily for like splitting the development community, because while I really like the Wii and what kind of potential it has, we have like this group making Wii games and we have this group making Xbox 360, PS3 games, and there's like very little crossover between them. You have to get like a totally different um, kind of studio thing if you want to like port them at all, because they're just so utterly incompatible. And I'm afraid that that's going to happen again with the Wii U, and I don't see how that couldn't happen with an Apple game system.
Well, I mean, even beyond that, Apple doesn't like to mess around with things that don't work precisely and
Yeah.
exactly the way they want. There's too much room for error. Uh, there's too many ways that could go wrong, and that usually isn't their game. They like to do one thing, a highly controlled experience, and uh, I just don't see it. I definitely see an Apple television
Yeah.
with a cool, touchscreen remote control or Siri, whatever. But as far as games go, I really hope they don't do that. It just makes me feel dirty.
I think that a home console, like a fourth home console at this point, like Daniel said, oh, I have to buy. We don't have to buy all these things. We could just buy one. We could, lots of people just buy one console. But the problem is that I think there's enough competition with three consoles in the marketplace right now, especially with um, PC over here and iOS gaming and all of that rising up. There's so much competition for our money already, and the
Mhm.
economy's in the shitter. I mean, the NPD report said that game sales were down 25% in March from last year. It's bad. It's not, I don't think now's the time for another player to enter the game.
Well, I think I should clarify, because I'm really not meaning that I don't like shutting myself off from like different.
No, I
Yeah.
totally understand where you're coming from there, but at the same time, you're the exception, not the
Right.
rule.
Right,
Um,
but I mean, speaking from my own personal perspective, it's not like if another console comes out, I'm going to want to buy it just because it's going to be there's probably going to be at least one thing that is worthy of my time on that platform, and then it's just going to be all right. There's like $350 or whatever it is, and I don't want to have to pay that again. I mean, yeah, that's not true for everybody, but
So you think
y-
there's going to be something for this Apple system that you're going to have to have?
well, there's a few things for the Wii that I had to have. Like I had to have No More Heroes. Like that was not like I couldn't not exist without that in my life.
Well, even I don't believe the rumors or the ties; they seem ridiculous. But
Yeah.
if Valve was partnering with Apple on this, those would definitely be games you would want to have.
Yeah.
I just don't see Valve saying, "Look, I'm going to make a system, an exclusive game for this Apple system." Uh,
oh, the Valve partnership stuff, that seemed really weird to me. Like uh, the rumors that Tim Cook visited Apple, and we got an email from someone who claimed they got an email from Gabe Newell saying that, they never met with Tim Cook. And I can't even begin to question the veracity of that. Like it's all over the place. But
It's a
um,
rumor
I,
of a rumor.
that's not a pairing I would see happening. It just seems weird to me that
those are
those two
gross.
companies would
Ugh,
work on that project.
ugh. It's, oh my God, it's like, fuck, I don't know. It's like radishes and chocolate or something. I just like, no.
Right, and they're both great companies for what they do, but I think
Mhm.
their philosophies are very, very, very different.
The kind of crowds that they appeal to, their demographics are very, very different. The kind of people who tend to go for Steam are a lot more of the hardcore PC gamers, and Valve has managed to win them over from piracy by offering like an easy way to integrate modding with Steamworks, having basic social media matchmaking features, like all these kinds of things, and then on top of that having those sales to kind of bring people in that way. And I just don't see like there being much overlap between the Steam community and the Mac community. Like that just doesn't seem.
And maybe that would be a strength to both businesses to combine those demographics and bring them together. I mean, certainly that could be advantageous, but philosophically,
Yeah.
I just don't see how it would work.
We're thinking way too hard about this. It was probably just like Tim
Yeah.
Cook was like, dude, let's just have like fucking baller rich guy lunch. Let's go have lunch and let's just like tear it up. Let's get like a fucking 20-course thing and like have fucking girls dancing and the sushi on the bellies and shit. And that's all they did. I have to find the energy to write about the new One Piece game.
Is it good? Or
No.
Okay.
It looks cool.
I knew the answer to that question before I asked.
Yeah, that's a lot of the anime properties look pretty cool. Like the Cyber Connect 2 Naruto games always look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's just that what they are isn't that great. They're like Japan's version of the bad movie game.
Yeah.
And there's people that dig those though, or they wouldn't make them.
Well, I mean, yeah, people will buy pretty much anything. I mean, there's an audience for everything.
The Dragon Ball Z Connect game.
I don't.
Now that could be fun though. Like a Dragon
That's
Ball
what I
Z
said when I
Connect
first
game.
saw it. I was like, oh, that looks like a lot of fun.
I don't know about a lot of fun, but I could enjoy myself for 20 minutes just charging up.
I think Connect is like really great in like a right environment. Like if you've got just like a whole bunch of friends and you just don't care about like any kind of serious actual gaming, and you just kind of like I don't know mess around. Because I've had a lot of fun playing like Connect Sports and stuff like that. But I mean that's mostly while intoxicated.
I mean, you
So
always
you're
run
saying
into the same problem that inevitably the Kinect sensor is going to stop doing what it needs to do, and you get frustrated, and that's it. I mean, that's for a lot of people, it's power off right then,
Yeah.
and that was definitely the case with this Dragon Ball Z game. But that outside of Kinect Sports or Dance Central, that's always the problem.
I thought Child of Eden worked pretty well with it.
Yeah.
Child of Eden's pretty
So-
good. Power Up Heroes it was actually not bad. It was kind of a cool little fighting game. Once Upon a Monster was good. I mean, there's some quality titles out there. But yeah, by and large, what tends to happen is once you start to have to struggle in any way with the mechanisms for control,
Mm-hmm.
you tune out.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'd rather just hold a controller. I know that's old-fashioned and stupid, but all of my favorite games of the past several years, thinking back, almost none of them involved motion control. I mean, there's some exceptions like Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2, but there's very limited, motion. Most of it was buttons and joysticks or whatever.
Yeah,
I
well,
really
it
like.
always seems to work better when it's an accent, when it's an
Right.
additional thing that supplements the experience. Same with Kinect. I don't have a whole lot of interest in the full body games, but every time they throw in support for voice command or something of that nature, I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
I think that there's even some opportunities for combination controller gesture things, and we're going to see some of that with Steel Battalion soon. So, yeah, I'm interested, but it can't be the whole experience.
No.
Right, and like I'm somebody who like likes to play games for the purpose of relaxation, and so like I mean I almost always play PC games, but I always play with a controller so I can just like lean back in my sumo and just like have a time. Like I can't really do that with the Wii or PlayStation Move or Kinect or anything like that, and I just you know I've always been a fan of like falling asleep to a good game in the same way that people like go to sleep with a good book, and I can't really do that with
Love
Kinect.
to fall asleep to games. Feels so good. No, I don't. I'd rather stay awake.
I do that a lot. I fall asleep playing games very frequently.
No, me too. Usually because I play so late.
Yeah.
You know,
But
my regular working day, like you know, when I'm writing or doing other things, that's you know, everyone else's regular work day. But when I actually start playing, I still consider that my work day. But that's 6, 7, 8 p.m. and beyond, and
Mhm.
I'm just dragging ass by midnight or one. And if it's an RPG or it's text heavy or some shit, I'm just kind of nodding off.
Oh, anything that like even if it just requires a lot of walking without a lot of like active
Right.
combat, I've caught myself dozing off of my characters like running blindly into a tree or something and
I've only ever like willingly fallen asleep to a game. I've never like actually just I don't know.
But you talk about it like it's like getting a foot massage or something. You know?
Yeah, I mean
Oh, this
it's so
game feels
relaxing.
wonderful.
It's like you get a nice cup of tea and then you just sit back and it's
And
just
the video game wash over you and pretend
yeah,
it's
it's great.
carry you off to dreamland.
because I've never been there. I found a recipe for tiramisu cupcakes yesterday. What were you doing?